So you've been thinking about moving to Tennessee, but you're just not sure if this is the right place for you or if this is really the state you want to live in. We're going to give you some reasons that you do not want to move to Tennessee. And you know what? The one at the very end, you're going to want to stick around for the one at the very end because it is super important to know if you're thinking about moving to Tennessee, you're not going to want to move here because of this one. And we're getting started right now. I'm Michael and Joshua, Caleb, James, David, and our team. We get calls from people like you every single day asking questions about moving to Tennessee, asking questions about the Nashville and surrounding areas. And if that's you and you have questions, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. And then if you're going to make your move within the next one day, 1 month, or 1 year, we'll gladly help you find a place where you can live, work, and play. Details are down in the description below. Let's get started. All right, we're going to get started with our list of reasons you do not want to move to the Tennessee area. But first, you want to make sure you click the subscribe button and click the bell for notification so that you can get notified every single time we upload a new video. Now, let's go through the list. Beginning with the first thing and the first reason that you do not want to move to Tennessee is if you don't have a car, or if you think you're just going to be able to take a bus or a subway or a train or whatever. That's not the way Nashville's laid out. There's not a public transportation system that's got good quality. Of course, you could Uber everywhere, I guess, if you wanted to Uber. But like, if you don't have a car, you don't like driving, Nashville is pretty spread out, and the surrounding areas around Nashville are pretty spread out. So you're going to have to drive everywhere you go. And the second reason that you may not want to move to the Tennessee area is going to be because of the weather. Now, the weather, everybody talks about the weather being good or bad or 4 seasons or not. Yes, there's 4 seasons, but there's not 4 distinct seasons. There's actually 27 spring seasons, depending on how you want to look at it. Everything from pre-pollen, post-pollen, all pollen, raining pollen. I mean, there's just a lot of different parts of a season, but really the weather is hard in the summer because it's super, super hot and humid. When I say humid, I mean like spray you down humid. It's like soaking wet humid. And that's not good if you're from a really dry area, arid area that, doesn't get a lot of rain, a lot of humidity. You're just not going to want to do it. To go along with the weather, you got to include allergies, because if you're from other parts of the country, there's parts of the country where you don't have allergies or may not have bad allergies. Well, I can tell you here, if you don't have allergies, or maybe you do have allergies, they are going to be worse when you get here. That's for sure. One last thing that you need to know about the weather is that people say, oh yeah, you get snow in Nashville. You don't get snow in Nashville. I used to live in Michigan, and Michigan, we got snow. I mean, when I say snow, I mean snow. A lot of snow. We would get a lot of snow in Michigan. But in Nashville, they say they get snow. They really just get ice, and we really just get like a little bit of snow, maybe 1 or 2 small snows. Where I used to live in Michigan, we would get a snow and it would start snowing in maybe late October, November, and the snow would melt in March. Okay, that doesn't happen in Nashville. Here, we get snow, it's gone by noon. If we're really lucky, we'll get it for a day or 2, maybe, but that's it. Another reason that you may not want to move to Tennessee and the Nashville area specifically is because if you are trying to watch your weight, or you're a Weight Watcher, you count calories and all that, this is one of the best places, the best cities in the country for foodie. If you are into food and you want to eat any kind of food, or if you're not and you're trying to count calories, you may not want to move here because it's not real easy to count your calories in Nashville. Another reason that you may not want to move to Tennessee, if you're from other parts of the country, Tennessee is definitely a southern hospitality town. sometimes you got to wait a little bit longer. Sometimes you don't move quite as fast. I know, I've been to New York before, and as soon as the light turns green, everybody starts honking their horn. You can't do that here, because as soon as the light turns green, you're probably going to move within the next, 30 seconds to a minute, but you're definitely not going to move all at the same time like they do in New York. That's just not possible because, well, frankly, we just move a little slower. We talk a little slower, and we draw the words out a little bit more. Okay, another big reason that you may not want to move to Nashville or to the Tennessee area is going to be because you think you're going to get a really good deal for cheap because you lived in another place that might have been more expensive. You're going to cash out on your house, and then you're going to move to Tennessee thinking you can get a house for cheap. Like, I can buy a house for $300,000 and it's a 6,000 square foot house. Not going to find it. You're not going to find that here. Tennessee is actually getting more and more expensive. It's an up and coming. I wouldn't say it's as expensive as, say, New York or some parts of California, but there are definitely not the cheapo, I can just get a house for a couple $100,000 and then I'm going to have a huge, 5 acres or anything like that. If you want 5 acres, you're probably not going to get anywhere near Nashville for under $1 million or more. And finally, the last reason that you do not want to move to the Nashville or Tennessee area is going to be if you're not willing to accept the fact that there's tourists here, accept the fact that there's people here that can also help you, and accept the fact that you can ask for help and just about anybody will help you and give you their opinion on things, or maybe even help you find the right place to live or the right area to live or anything like that. If that's you and you aren't willing to ask for help, you probably don't want to move to Tennessee. And the last reason that you probably don't want to move to the Tennessee area is, like I said, we're definitely into Southern hospitality. We like to help people. And if that's you and you don't like to get help or ask for help, or you're just rude and you think everybody else is going to be like all in your business because we're willing to ask, we're willing to help out, we're willing to give a lending hand. If you don't like that kind of thing, you probably don't want to move to Tennessee. Again, if you are interested in moving, whether it's in 1 day, 1 month, or 1 year, and you're looking at the Tennessee area, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, and send us an email, and we'll be glad to help you make that move to find a place where you can live, work, and play. But if you don't like the things in the video, then you probably shouldn't move. Or don't move here. Yeah. We'll see you next video.